Welcome to the Symphony Show from the Symphony Studios. Hi Z,
Hi,
how do
hi.
you feel seated on the chair today?
Um, Glad to be here, energetic. Honestly, I'm fatigued, but let's get this over with. Like, let's do it. Let's do this. I'm energetic. I'm happy. As far as I can remember, no. Why? Because it's against my ethos. So I feel like if I'm going to draw someone or paint them or illustrate them and publicize what I've done, they should have be able to give their consent. Otherwise, it makes for a sticky situation and it's creepy in a sense, in a way. When you just pick someone off the internet or off the street and you start painting them or illustrating. So essentially, no, I don't know. I was rambling. No, I haven't done that. So there is this story by Symphony Studios. You might know of them. You're watching the channel right now. They have a publication called Mau, right? And in that comic, there was a character named Ogo. She was the main supporting character in the story, and I feel like her impact in that book was so good. It was so uh, memorable. It left a lot of things wanting. It left us wanting more of her. At least it left me wanting more of her. Uh, not like that, not like that. But yeah. So we are working on a spin-off of that story right now, and yeah, it should be out later this year. So keep your eyes out, and yeah, stay tuned. The first Nigerian comic book I read, I can remember reading anyway. Was Super Strikers. Super Strikers. Super
As
Strikers.
in
Super.
PER.
It's super.
Spell
Should be Super Strikers. No? Yeah, Super Strikers. The Nigerian version, of course. I mean, internationally, though, it's Archie Comics. That's my earliest memory of a comic book. People that inspire me in Nigeria. Well, there are like a number of artists I recently met that have really shown me what is possible within the Nigerian comic book space. Um, to name them, some of them, Ife Oluwa Owade, Jamil Abdusalam,
Yeah.
Blessing Awesome, amazing artists. They've been in this industry for a long while and they know the ins and outs. They have like a lot of experience trying to tell stories and tell them in visually compelling and interesting ways that make me feel like there's a lot I can pull from them to improve myself. So, yeah. Hey guys, if you're watching this, like shout out to you guys. I'm wishing you well. That being artistic is a gift rather than something you can train and a skill you can hone, right? Yeah, I get like some people are more, no, some people just have more of an aptitude for the arts. Some people are good at singing, they have like a good voice that they can sing with. Some people are good at hand eye precision, right? Their hands are stable, so they can make good strokes without wobbling, stuff like that. But ultimately, you just practice, practice, practice. It's all about there's nothing you can't do once you sit down and take the time, especially when it comes to art. If it's music, you're not a bad singer. You just need the time to modulate your voice. You're not a bad artist. You just need to take the time to grab a pencil. Don't use AI. Don't use AI. Hey kids, stay away from AI. You can be way better than that. You are truncating your talent, your talent, your potential by using AI. Stay away from AI. Grab a pencil. Mommy, daddy, if you're watching this, get your kids like a pencil, an iPad, something create like they can use to create with their hands. Give them all the potential that they give them all the necessary tools they can use to maximize their potential. So yeah. But I don't think there's a more. I think you need a balance between, especially when you're talking about comics.
Yeah.
Comics are, first of all, a visual storytelling medium. So your art needs to be able to tell the story it needs to be augment the story and like elevate it, right? But ultimately, if your story is really, really good, I think it can carry the art,
Yeah.
but there should be a balance. Yeah, so I think I'm drawn to villains, of course, but villains that have like a compelling motivation. So in Ogo, for example, the aforementioned story that I'm working on, yours truly, there is a villain. Well, there is the villain of the story who I kind of grew attached to in the early stages of the story. Later on, I realized she was really fucked. She was really messed up. She was really messed up, kids. And so I had to uh, do a U-turn on liking her. But I think I enjoy drawing villains, especially villains that are very ruthless, you know, very very severe, yeah, merciless, yeah. Then I guess after that, maybe the chaotic. What did you say? The chaotic
Chaotic comic relief.
comic relief.
Yeah.
Maybe a romantic character. I mean, it'll be humans, people, because I'm just more used to drawing figurative art or making figurative art. So um, that's the answer and why. Uh, yeah. The eyes, the hands. I like making cool gestures with that. I feel like the hands. You can see a lot with hands. That especially when you're making like an illustration that can't speak. Right. There's this when you look at classical paintings. There's this thing that happens with the hands where they are so like loose and dainty. Like in the painting of the creation of Adam, for example, that where you see Adam and you see like God with the beard, like, and they don't touch. You see how the hands are just like. There's just something so that draws me to hands like that. Yeah, and then after that, I guess feet, PG-13, just feet, right? Nothing more, nothing less. Like just feet. What else? Yeah, I like painting nails. They're like the cherry on top as well. I can't speak to what goes on in my subconscious, but consciously, I can't say that it does influence my art style. I can say it influences some of the decisions I make in storytelling, but when it comes to art style, what inspired me to create in the first place was manga, anime, you know, and we don't have like a Yoruba anime or anything like that. So,
Not yet.
I mean, would we even call it anime? We'll just call it, what's the Yoruba version of the comic? The Yorubas have like a version
It is
of.
you that is the Yoruba boy. It's me asking questions.
Did I tell you I'm a Yoruba boy?
You want to deny your.
Look, you can't be confirmed or denied. Forget that this is on video.
No, wait. You want to deny.
Forget that this is on video.
What's your full name?
If you go back to what was said, right? I only mentioned Yoruba. I didn't say I was Yoruba. I only mentioned it because Yoruba just comes to mind like naturally, you know, like,
Sure, naturally.
like it just comes
Because
to
we are
mind.
connected to it. It's just like that. Of all.
You guys. No, I don't do that. I think inserting yourself into the art you make it's an indulgence of the ego that I do not care for. So not to knock anyone down who does that. I mean, self-portrait art is cool. Putting yourself in your art, there are like a lot of artists that I respect that actually insert themselves in their art, and I think it's nice. But for me, I think there's just more interesting things for me to focus on that inspire me to create than this. Well, now that you ask, there is a short story that will be coming out soon that was illustrated by yours truly. Again, wow, I'm so busy. You, Omo, I've done a lot. Oh boy. So there's a short story that will be coming out. That will be coming out soon. That was illustrated by yours truly and was narrated by yours truly as well. So booked and busy, boy. Like, we getting that money. Hopefully we get that like a salary increase. We're hoping for it. Yeah. There's this saying I have. I struggle with imposter syndrome a lot, right? So I say this thing where I lose faith in myself at least once a day, right? But then I find, especially when it comes to creating art or being able to like create something that I can be proud of, but then I put my head down and then 3 to 5 hours later, I'm on the cusp of something magnificent. So it turns out all I need to do something great is to do it. So I do it faithless, you know, just do it faithless.
Drops mic.
Just do it faithless. All right. So no, I've never thought of quitting art. Art has carried me through a lot, but there are a lot of people who have nudged me to try other fields of occupation because they're a bit more lucrative than just like working as an artist in today's Nigeria, in Nigeria in general, in the world in general, I think. So, but ultimately, I have to I have to plant my foot in the earth and say, no, this is art. It's art for me or nothing, you know. And here we are. We are living the dream. We are making our mula. We're getting our bag, getting that bread. You know, we're creating art for a living. You know, what more can from a guy? What more can a guy that was born in Abuja and always wanted to make these little cartoons ask for? Even if you don't get it,
Yeah.
I guess an appreciation for the beauty that I try to capture in my work. An appreciation for women, because I mostly, personally, in my personal work, I mostly depict women. So an appreciation, not just for like the beauty of women or like the perfection of women, you know, women are goddesses or shit, like, or stuff like that. Like just like women as they are, as people, right? As people that can inspire you to want to create, right? To want to make stuff, you know, to admire the world. People that make you want to admire the world, yeah. That's what I want you to see. And then maybe I guess to also have an awe for the boundless creativity of the human spirit. Yeah. By yours truly. You can quote me. Yeah. I just came up with that. I think you can art is everywhere. So it would be very difficult for me to say what a non-art experience is. You know, you get up from bed in the morning, that can be an art experience. You have your breakfast, you have your bath, you know, you even if you rob a bank, you run into SARS or the police, you know, so that's something that can inspire you to make art. You know, you fall in love, that's an art experience. You know, so um, everything inspires me to make art, but ultimately, I guess just taking a break. Sometimes, do you ever have this experience where you take a break from something that you are really good at or that you've been struggling with, and then when you come back, you find that you are a lot better at what you were trying to get? All the artists in the room can relate, I feel. So yeah, that's something I feel is a non-art experience that makes my work better. Just taking a break from work, from art in general. Happiness.
Happiness.
Yeah.
You depressed? Or you
Recovering.
just a hater?
Recovering from despair.
Recovering from despair.
Yeah.
Ha, ha, ha,
Your
ha.
boy is a broken soul. You know. But if you know of the practice of liquor, you know, like making up broken pieces with gold, patching them with gold, that's who I am. You know, broken but golden. No, I don't create from anger or expression. I don't think there's any fertility for creativity in anger or frustration. Again, I don't know. It depends. There are some people that can. For me, it just stops. It kills the vibe. It kills the drive. When I was depressed, I took a whole hiatus from creating at all. So it was until I started to climb out of that pit that I started making stuff again. So I don't create from anger or frustration. It depends. If I'm working personally, sometimes I don't name them because I know what I'm doing. But if I'm working for like in an official capacity, then you have to name your layers because there are some people who may work on the project with you, and you don't want them to get lost. So my answer is it depends. A sweetheart, um, melancholic, sentimental, introverted, and a lover. I'd be a singer.
What?
Yeah, I'd be one of those souls in heaven singing glory, glory, hallelujah for eternity. Yeah, that would be me. Yeah.